Hello everyone! Today I am testing out some art supplies that you would have seen in my most recent Michaels haul. I'm going to be using my new brushes, the watercolor pad by Artist Loft, as well as the gouache set. And this will be my first time using gouache, so I am very excited to start. Okay, so I've gotten myself a nice clean cup of water, a few paper towels in case disaster strikes, and then I'm just going to be using this piece of cardboard as my palette because I do not have a reusable one with me, so I'm just going to be using this. And the first thing I'm going to do is make a swatch of what each of the colors looks like. Gouache is supposed to be a mix between acrylic and watercolors, and I am really interested to see sort of the difference in texture and how they work with the water added. Some of these are a lot liquidier than others, I am noticing. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing my tests on this first page here. This paper feels really nice, actually. It's nice and thick. So yeah, happy with that. So first I'm just going to do a mark. I know the white's probably not going to show up. I'm just gonna do a little mark of what the pure color on its own looks like. And then I'm going to try adding some water to that. Okay, so this is like a much deeper color than what you would get with typical watercolors. Interesting. So I'm going to speed through this for you guys and come back with some thoughts at the end of the swatches. Okay, so far I am very impressed with how pigmented everything is. I am going to go clean out my water because it has gotten quite gray, and then I am going to swatch the metallics. So here is a bit of a closer look at everything. As you can see, the first swatch is just the plain color, and then I've added a bit of water to the second swatch. Okay, so these metallics are definitely not as pigmented as the regular colors, but I think they will still be nice to have. I honestly wasn't planning to use the metallics that much. I was more interested in how the plain colors would be, and I am not disappointed so far. So I am going to go ahead and let these little tests dry, but I do want to try to paint something as well. So I'm going to set that to the side and let's play around with my new gouache. Okay, so I think I'm going to call this the finished piece. It is far, far, far from perfect, and if I was actually going to make this a art print or something, I would spend way, way, way more time right from the beginning with like a sketch and everything first, but to just test how well these paints layer with each other and blend with each other, I thought this was pretty good. So let me bring you in a little bit closer and we'll talk a bit more about it. Okay, so these paints don't blend the greatest, as you can see with the sky in particular. When I tried to do sort of what you would do with watercolors and really blend them out with water, it did not work great. However, if you look at the tip of the mountain here, when I was purely using that white and gray, it was working quite well. So I think a little bit of water and a lot more paint is the way to go, and that's kind of how this bottom section happened. And I did use a little bit of that metallic for these clouds. I'm not sure it adds much to the piece. I kind of like that close-up section without this bottom bit. People who can make really realistic water reflections amaze me. The paper is warping a little bit, and at this bottom part where I had used quite a bit of water, it did start to tear at the paper a little bit, so do be aware of that if you plan on purchasing this. And I also wanted to say that the paint does start to dry on the palette quite quickly, so do try to work fast or only put out the colors you are using at that moment to avoid having the paint dry up on you. However, I did find that if I added a bit more water to it, it was fine overall. For a little quick test, I think this was quite successful. I know a bit more about how they work, and I think I will definitely look up some techniques to use rather than just trying to wing it next time. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!